Hello and welcome to another training session powered by Third Angle. I am Sarah Perry and this is a quick overview of how to prepare and upload an image to your website so that way it is optimized both file size and dimensionally speaking along with search engine optimized. So we're going to take this adorable photo of my husband and my daughter. They can hate me later for it. But I took this with my cell phone, which means it's huge. It's approximately 3 megabytes in size, which is about 2.5 megabytes bigger than you ever want a photo to be for online use. So what we're going to do first is we are going to check out my first favorite tool, and that is ResizeImage.net. And this website is great for a couple reasons. One, it's free. Two, it doesn't require any sign up or anything like that. And three, it's just real simple to use. So we're going to go through several of the different settings on here, and we're also going to use another tool as well. So first things first, let's go ahead and do the upload image. And I actually have this guy saved right here. All right, and depending on your connection speed, it'll be fast or slow, but do be patient, especially for these larger photos. If you're taking them even with a professional camera, they're probably going to be even bigger. This is precisely why we want to go ahead and resize them dimensionally and file size as well. So as we're waiting here, once it's fully uploaded, you'll see a preview show up right here. Perfect. Okay, so you can kind of see, get a picture of how big this image is, and if you're curious, you can come down here. It is 2,530 pixels by 3,374. So it's quite large. All right, so this number 2 section is crop your image. And again, like I said there, it's optional. If you need to, you can certainly just crop like this and say, you know what, I only want a real close-up on them. So let's go ahead and you can freeform this in like this. Or if you do have kind of a fixed aspect ratio, like you're trying to fit other dimensions and you know, let's say your other images are 600 pixels by 400 pixels, let's go ahead and put that in. And then when you size this, you'll notice it sticks to that size. So, okay, how can we fit this portrait photo? We'll just block my husband out. Just kidding. But let's say we go ahead, you know what, let's try this crop. And you're going to click the crop tool there. And that's what it will look like. And if you decide you're like, nope, don't like it, you can undo it. But before I do that, I want to show you that the dimensions down here have changed, but you can notice they're still large. This is even after we crop. All right, let's go ahead and undo that so that we've got this nice, beautiful portrait. This right here is nice and helpful if for some reason your photos come in onto your computer wherever you have uploaded them from and they're turned, you can tell it to rotate or even go all the way around. So in this sense, we are lucky this one's already rotated the right way. All right, number 4, the resize your image is probably the most used area that you're going to do on this particular tool. And when it comes to sizing, a good rule of thumb is an image, the largest size, so like this size right here, should be no larger than 1,920. And that's if you're going to spread that image all the way across the screen, like doing a big banner, okay? But if you're going to put this image alongside content or anything, what I will recommend is actually having it no larger than 1,000 pixels. And even then, if it's not going to be a nice big image, you could get away with the 600 pixels or even 800. I'm actually going to bring this down to 800 because you'll see it has a nice aspect ratio there. This portion right here you'll pretty much never use. And this is mainly because you'll always have keep aspect ratio on. If you don't, it squishes and does real weird things with the images, which you don't want. Number 5 is associated with that when you change the aspect ratio in this sizing area, so you don't need it. Now, I will take a moment and talk about the image formats. So there are 4 primary ones. JPEG, which is to JPG, PNG, which is a long name, GIF, which is pretty much all those moving pictures, and it is pronounced GIF, and BMP, which is a bitmap. So JPEG is your one that you're going to be using pretty much 95% of the time. If it doesn't have to have a clear background, like this image here, just a plain image, JPEG is the way you want to go. One, it does have good image quality even after you basically kind of compress it. And it also has the smallest file size before even compressing. PNG is if you need your image to have no background transparency. So like logos and stuff, if you're needing to size down a logo because it's just ginormous and it needs to have a clear background, make sure you do save it as a PNG. Now, quick caveat, if the image does not have a clear image before saving it as a PNG, it will not magically make a clear background. So do make sure that your image has a clear background before you save it as a PNG. And going back to the JPEG, if you accidentally save your clear background image as a JPEG, it will turn it white or black, sometimes a funky color. So just as a heads up. GIF, you'll rarely ever use this only because unless you're actually creating a GIF, and there are other tools for that. And BMP, which is the bitmap, this is kind of an older style image file. Sometimes logos can be in this format, but it is one that you will rarely use. The two you'll use most is JPEG and PNG. And like I said, most time, JPEG. All right. Number 7 is optimize your image. You can do that within this tool, which is fantastic, and it does work. I am just partial to another compressing tool, which I'll show you after this, so I am just going to leave it at best image quality and change nothing in here. Alright, so we're going to go Resize Image, because I've resized it down to the 800 by 600. And the great thing that it does is it shows you, here's the original, which was 3 meg, and then it is 600 by 800, and now it's 368.6 kilobyte. To put that in perspective on how much smaller this image is, 1 megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes. So we brought it down quite a bit in just resizing it alone, and that's huge. So let's go ahead and we're going to download image. And this brings me to my first bit of search engine optimization. When you put an image up on a website, the search engines are not smart enough yet to see the image per se. What they do is read the image file name and any data that is associated with the image, like in the background, stuffed into the file. So what you want to do is typically put your website name and a description of what the image is, and when it comes to that description, make sure you've got a keyword in there. So for instance, I'm actually going to be uploading this to the Third Angle website on my personal profile page with my bio. So we are going to put Third Angle and Sarah Perry, and then I am actually going to put my job title because it is also a keyword, but I am, in addition, because we are locally based, I'm putting Colorado Springs afterwards. So my full file name is Third Angle Sarah Perry, Marketing Consultant, Colorado Springs, and then at the end, just because we can't have the same file name for each of them, I'm going to say family pick. Okay, and that's something that's more for your descriptor if this beginning part isn't a descriptor enough. Okay, let's go ahead and save that, and it will save. Then it'll bring me to my second tool, which is TinyPNG. So TinyPNG, you'll know you're there because there's a really cute panda. But the reason I like using this particular tool is, again, it's free. You don't have to sign up for it. And it works very well. They exemplify this right in here. So originally they were used exclusively for PNGs because when an image has a clear background, it comes with a lot more junk in the trunk. Which makes a bigger file size. So even if this is only 57 kilobytes, we can bring it down to 15. And what that translates to is a faster load time and less weight and size on your page itself. So Smaller image, faster load time, happier people visiting your website. So the super easy way to do this is just take your freshly new image, and you notice it does keep the original. So if you do want to keep your original unsized, this is a great way to do it, is resizing it, or renaming it when you do that. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll see it compressing. Is it took it from the 377, and we actually got down even further, and it went down 73%. You can do a bunch of them at a time. It's up to 20 images, and the max is 5 megabytes. And this is also why I do the resizer first, because I'm telling you guys, images are big if they come off of even the brand new iPhones. They are huge. So make sure that you do resize them before putting them in here. And that just is a nice way to kind of do the process. All right, so from here I'm going to download. The difference from last time is I am just going to save over the image that I had already resized. Reason being is I don't need another file name, and it just keeps things simple. Okay, so that is all done. What's up next is actually putting it into the website. Now, depending on the website, you may or may not have this folder structure over here. If you do not, that is okay. You would just simply upload it. But I am going to take a moment and showcase if these file structures in here. So you'll notice here I have Sarah Perry About Images. And if I click into that, it organizes all of the photos that I'm using on my bio page. So what I want to do is click that folder and go add new. And a quick note as well, if you do not have a folder in here, you can simply create a new one. And if you have it highlighted, it'll make it underneath. But if you just kind of click all photos again, it'll create it in a new top level. So if you're making a gallery, this would be like gallery images. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click this, go add new, and you can also see here if, oh, you know what, I don't want this one, I want this one, you can change it there. All right, I'm going to select the file, click the named compressed file, and then there, that's it, we're done. Just kidding, we have a little bit more to do, and it's even more of the search engine optimization. So, a lot of times this gets overlooked, but this is extremely important to go along with the search engine because, again, they don't see the image, they can't particularly read our minds, and we have to tell them what this image is. Okay, so alternative text, what that is in a nutshell is screen readers. So for the blind, the visually impaired, they actually have programs that will read what's off on the screen, just like on captions on a TV. So if there is a purpose to this image, for instance, if it is a logo, you would say my company name logo, okay? If it is purely decorative, you don't necessarily need to put anything in there. I tend to always put at least a very basic description, no matter what it is, because, I mean, might as well create a good experience for everyone who is coming to your website, regardless of a site or not. So let's go ahead. I am actually going to put a picture of father and daughter. We'll put young daughter. Okay, smiling. Okay. So the title. This is again where you can kind of cheat a little bit and take some take your title, which is already put in here from your file, and essentially just take the dashes out and make spaces and make it read phonetically better to humans and robots. The reason why I did not mention this earlier, the reason why I do dashes between each and every one instead of just having like a space or an underscore, and again underscore is this guy down here versus dash, is because dashes allow the search engines to read each word individually and out of order. So if somebody put in Perry, Sarah, marketing consultant, this image would still have the potential of popping up in searches. Alright, so let me go ahead and we're going to finish out this here. Marketing consultant. And it's nice because you don't actually have to retype everything. If it's short, go ahead and retype. Alright, so last bit is this caption. Caption and description are somewhat similar depending on how they're used within the site, and that would just be more of a specific question, but overarching caption is used over description. Caption is what would be seen at the very bottom of the image, or if someone hovered it, you know, what this image is. So caption for this image is, this is my amazing husband and adorable 1-year-old daughter. They are the light of my life. So with that, that ends the actual prepping and uploading an image to a website. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. My name is Sarah Perry, and you can reach me at support@third-angle.com. Again, have a great day and happy editing.